Hi, I'm Jamie from Radio.co. Have you got an idea for a station but don't know where to begin? Setting up your own internet radio station doesn't have to be hard, not if you follow up this guide. I'll take you through the ins and outs and what you need to know to get started. So, like anything new, we all need a little help from time to time. That's why we've put together a short list of things you need to know when setting up an internet radio station. The following advice will hopefully provide you with some insight to head down the right path. So, in this presentation, you will learn the fundamentals of internet radio, aka Internet Radio 101, or what to look out for, automated broadcasting, what you can achieve with tools at your fingertips to broadcast non-stop to a global audience, live broadcasting, different methods to get your voice and shows live online, and finally we'll look at station branding, how to stand out from the crowd and get noticed. So, before we get into what you need to know to set up your own internet radio station, let's first address some concerns you might have about online broadcasting. Here at Radio.co, we get frequently asked questions that crop up quite often, like, I'm new to internet radio broadcasting and not super technical. Is there someone that can help me? Yeah, of course. At Radio.co, we have a dedicated team of in-house experts who can walk you through the system and answer any questions you might have. Plus, there's a support team on standby ready to help out and look into anything if need be. You just drop them a message at radio.co/contact. So another question we get is, do I need expensive equipment to broadcast? Well, no, not really. You just need a standard computer or laptop, an internet connection, and a microphone. I mean, you can even get away with a built-in mic. So, when you're first starting out, it's actually better to just get up and running as quickly as possible. So, can I broadcast live non-stop? You can actually, but that means you have to have a dedicated machine running around the clock, streaming your audio, like a home computer. It's actually a whole lot easier to automate your shows using Radio.co's scheduler. This way you can switch between live and automated tracks for when you're not around. FM, AM and DAB require a license to broadcast. Do I need one for my internet radio station? Well, unlike terrestrial radio, you don't actually need to own a license to broadcast online. However, if your station is going to be playing commercial music, then we have a few suggestions you can check out by heading on over to help.radio.co and choosing the Music, Licensing and Royalties link under Tips. Alternatively, just follow the link which is shown on screen. So let's get down to it. The fundamentals of internet radio. So understanding the basics of setting up an internet radio station and how it works can help you know what to look out for and get a clearer picture of how your audio travels from point A to point B, eventually streaming to your listeners. So, breaking it down, there are 3 basic stages when it comes to internet broadcasting. The source, which is you. Your computer mixes audio in. This can be live, voice or music. Then it converts it into a stream of data packets, which are constantly sent to the server. So the server, the provider, like Radio.co. When your stream arrives at the server, it's cleaned up and then it's pushed on to the appropriate channels, which is your listener, which can be anyone. Wherever you broadcast online, if that's a direct streaming link to the server or via a player, for example, anyone can connect and hear your radio station. So it's quite straightforward. So your content is pushed out to the internet, it's managed in the cloud by Radio.co, and finally it's distributed to your audience worldwide. Now, let's break this down further into some things you should know and take advantage of. So server costs. Providers use data centers to host radio stations on servers, but it costs money to host them, especially on reliable servers as prices vary depending on specifications like memory, storage, and so on. So, providers offering low-cost services should be looked at skeptically. They need to cover their own costs and make a reasonable profit to run their business. So you might find out that their service isn't as great as you thought. So, just remember that they're cheap for a reason. Content you're streaming to listeners is known as bandwidth. It costs money depending on the quality of your stream, how many listeners you have, and time spent listening. There's actually a handy tool that you can use to determine roughly how much you might use. Head to Radio.co / Internet Radio Bandwidth Calculator, as shown on screen, to get a rough bandwidth estimate of how much you might use in, for example, a day, a week, or even a month. So, servers have limits. Without them, they fall over when pushed way too hard. That's what listener caps are for. They prevent server loads becoming unmanageable, and eventually they just deteriorate streams, so that's why they're usually in place. Storage space for your station determines how many tracks you can upload to manage your media. For instance, 10 gigabytes is enough for around 2,500 tracks, and 50 gigabytes is 12,500 tracks. So that's quite a lot, really. So the more storage space you have, the more tracks you can host and manage on your station to automate things. There are multiple ways listeners can tune into your station, either directly on your server, for example, streaming.radio.co, like as shown on screen, through internet radio directories like TuneIn and Streamer, on mobile apps like iPhone, or on an embedded player on your site, like shown on screen with the player. So Radio.co offers a bunch of these different methods you can provide listeners to access your stream, but the more options you have means the more opportunities for your listeners to actually tune in. So do things like embed a player on your website, have mobile apps in the App Store for iPhone and Google Play for Android, and be on as many directories or third-party sites as you can manage. So, running a radio station live throughout the week can sometimes be exhausting, especially in the long run. That's where automation can come in handy. Radio.co provides an all-in-one solution to create around-the-clock radio shows. Not to mention it gives you peace of mind knowing your station is running non-stop and managed by radio professionals, so your shows are always going out. MCR Live, for instance, is a radio station that's powered by Radio.co. It's accessible via DAB in Manchester and worldwide online. As it's 24/7 and it uses the automated system, it's absolutely essential to keep it going. The station uses playlists to compile shows together and then broadcast them in a scheduler throughout the day and week. They don't just do automated shows, they actually mix in some live shows with things like honour presenters, guest spots, and DJ Takeovers. So they actually jam-pack shows like around a 24-hour clock. So you can actually see this for yourself if you want, if you head on over to mcr.live/listen. So as we just mentioned, friends and DJ Takeovers. If automating your station isn't really your thing and you prefer a more live approach, then get your friends and DJs on board. Allow them to take over with their own shows when you're not around. So with Radio.co, you can actually set the date, time, and duration when DJs broadcast. You can even repeat slots on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis if you want them to have a regular spot on your station. So, radio automation is quite a powerful tool, but you don't get that same feelings as when you're broadcasting live. So you can talk in real time to your audience about current events, chit-chat about tracks you're broadcasting, and give shout-outs to listeners that might be sending in messages at places like Twitter and Facebook. This way you get a conversation going and feedback about your shows. Plus, everyone loves a little, quick mention on the radio every now and then. Sometimes, listeners don't actually get a chance to tune in when you're live. So a quick tip here is to record live shows and then upload them to your station, Radio.co, and then schedule them to play out for those listeners that might have missed them the first time around. Broadcasting software, it's a tool you can use to stream live to your station, either if it's spoken word, music, or even a bit of both. So whether you're new to internet radio and need a simple solution, or if you're an experienced professional scouting for the next best alternative, there's plenty of broadcasting software available. Some are easy, that you just click and broadcast, like Nicecast, for example. whilst others are a bit more complex with things like multiple mixers and faders, stuff like that. An example is Virtual DJ Pro. Whatever you're after, it's best to weigh up your options. That's why some of our in-house experts at Radio.co weighed in on the best radio broadcasting solutions you should check out over on the blog, which is radio.co/blog/best radio broadcasting software you should know, as shown on screen. Coca-Cola, Apple, and McDonald's all have something very similar in common. They each have a very strong and recognisable brand. When your station can easily be recognised by a logo, by a slogan, or even the type of music that you play, then you're definitely doing something right. The reason your station should have a strong brand is often due to competition and choice of stations online. You're essentially trying to look more appealing than other stations, basically. Let's look at an example. That wow factor. So owning an internet radio station that's broadcasting 24/7 isn't always enough. You need to stand out and be someone worth following to build your audience, especially early on, so you have the essentials in place. Take relax and chill station Buzz Beach Radio. They have a consistent brand with tracks they play, the artwork they use for content on their website, and how they actually position themselves online through advertisements and tone. I mean, you can just see it on screen now. The top image is from their website and the bottom image is from an ad on other people's websites. So you can see they've got a consistent tone and feel. So your station should be as memorable online when branded properly, so you actually stick out in people's minds. So now it's your turn. Make Radio.co work for you. So all your music and announcements, like promos and branded audio, are scheduled and managed from one central location. For instance, this could be your studio, at home, or anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. And then your audio can be taken and then streamed directly to anyone with an internet connection. I mean, even retail shops and restaurants can tune in with pre-configured streaming devices, like a Barracks box, for instance, and then relay that stream to a speaker system. So your dashboard is the essential hub of your station. It allows you to control all your music, create playlists, schedule content, manage DJs, all from within your browser. So you can manage multiple streams from a drop-down menu. So if you've got more than one radio station, you can manage it all in one place. And then from within here, you can schedule your tracks like I just mentioned. You can preview your tracks. You can look at analytics, so you can see who's currently tuned in to your station, and you can also see like other little things like how much storage space you're currently using, how many tracks you've got. Now, the cool thing about this is Radio.co is it's actually custom built from the ground up, so that makes it more of a reliable platform. It's more powerful and it's got greater flexibility. Overall, it gives you a better experience. So, for example, you can manage your own music and your own playlists. So you can take all the content you've got, all the music you've got on your computer and then upload them to Radio.co in the browser just by simply dragging and dropping them in. And then from here, you can curate your music into playlists and then add things like tags, and then you can color coordinate your tags so it's a bit easier to manage. And you can take your playlists and then schedule them for like a stress-free broadcasting experience. Your shows, like I just mentioned, you can actually schedule them, and you can do this to the nearest 5 minutes throughout the day. And you can take this one step further, schedule your entire shows for the day, or even for the week, or even for the month. And then throughout this, you can have music, tags, jingles, adverts, and even promotions to mimic live broadcasts. Alternatively, you can also take over any automated shows that are going out to do a quick live broadcast. But if you don't want certain tracks to repeat, for example, if you've got an automated show, you can use album and artist separation rules, which is actually cool because you can stop certain artists or albums from repeating themselves, so it doesn't really sound too repetitive. And now this is really cool because you've got two options here. You can actually use pre-built players, so it's easier for you to take players and then put them on your website so people can tune in to your station. Or you can actually use the DIY player kit, meaning you can design and build your own unique players to match your institution, like a school, college or university. Your account at Radio.co is fully managed. All plans come with dedicated support who can help you with playlist curation, content production, and they can help you with dedicated technical support if you have any issues or you have any questions. They'll always be on point to give you a helping hand and resolve anything as quickly as possible. Now, that's it for the presentation, but it doesn't have to end here. You can talk with us, you can chat with us about your radio station by dropping us a quick email at studio@radio.co. You can send us a quick tweet at radio.co, or you can get one of the team to show you the system and can answer any questions by booking a demo at radio.co/book a demo. Or alternatively, if you're wanting to get started today, like right now, you can. You can get started for free with your 7-day trial. So get started now by heading on over to try.radio.co.